All right, it's Brian and Chris here from Resolve Technology. I'm here with Chris. All right, we're going to talk about something that hit my inbox today, which is routers and other network devices that are getting firewalls and things like that are getting exploited by the Chinese. Basically, they're attacking the exterior of your network. The first way, it's basically gateway into the network, right? So if that's vulnerable, then that's an easy way to get in and breach your whole network, right? So obviously the important part is, you got to keep those devices up to date. And after a few years, you can't keep them up to date anymore. You can't patch them with software and things like that for the vulnerabilities. You might as well throw it out the window, right? And get a new one. Okay,
Yeah.
so just expect that's a sunk cost that you're gonna have to deal with, right? So Chris, maybe you can talk a little bit about like maybe what are some of the mitigations that they recommend here from the CISA government site?
They recommend their best practices that some of these you already touched on: apply patches, disable unnecessary ports and protocols, replace end-of-life infrastructure, implement patch management. But if we come down here to mitigation, let's take a look. So yeah, keep systems and products updated and patched as soon as possible after patches are released. If you're ever on Reddit or sysadmin Reddit, there's a lot of people who try to hold patches. But there's a brave few who update 9,000 at once and let you know how it goes. But it's still important to update all software, all operating systems. You got to keep everything up to date. Firmware up to date on firewalls is another thing that, especially if you keep up with a lot of cybersecurity, things like SSL VPN, been in the news a lot lately with various vendors.
One of the things that I noticed that's on the list, which is you've got to do this nowadays. If you're still using VPN, and there's still a lot of people using VPN. We have clients that use VPN. We put multi-factor on the connections, right?
Yeah.
So they can use the app on their phone. I mean, that's the easiest way to do it. Or you can use something like a YubiKey or some other USB key device to give you that second factor. Definitely a must. Anything else that jumps out there, Chris?
Yeah, segment networks to limit or block lateral movement. That's a big thing. I mean, we've done videos on VLANing and why you want to maybe have like an air gap device. Say you have a client that can't get rid of the Windows 7 machine, but it doesn't need internet access. You might want to look into somehow air gapping it and segmenting it off on the network.
Yeah, great point. We try to use VLANs and things like that as much as possible. The other thing I see on there is, and not everybody does this, disable the external capabilities, right? Like you don't want to open your front door by, exposing the login portal to the firewall, right?
So a lot of people do that though. There are like a lot of pfSense and FortiGates that are publicly exposed and they may not know about it.
Exactly. That's just some of the things you can do. There's a long list in there. We'll try to include the link to this government article. This stuff isn't going away. You see it every few weeks, and when you don't see it in the news, hey, it's still happening in the background. They're constantly trying to get into these devices. All right, Chris.
Have a good one.